What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel on nootropics. I'm going to talk about conversational nootropics, the kind of nootropics that you can take when you know you're going to be in some heavy conversations with people. And this is the stacks that I'm going to give you are stacks that I've created for myself in sort of a recent endeavor in making friends in a new city. Tailored more toward a social situation, but still getting deeply intellectual in all the conversations that I get in. So I'm going to give you 4 of them, and I'm also going to rank them in most effective to least effective, but still effective. In the meantime, go support us at livecortex.com. We got a lot of powerful nootropic products ranging from the Cortex stack. I mean, look, that alone is a powerful conversational stack. Mental energy, verbal fluency, the will to work. Buy Cortex, livecortex.com. If you're new to Cortex, just do the auto ship option. So if you end up loving the stack, it'll just get shipped to you automatically every month for cheaper than the original price. And if you, for some reason, don't love it, you can just cancel it. Nootropics Ground Zero, if you're new to nootropics, it's a video course that I created. It's really a course that I wish was out there when I was new, because I wasted about 4 years of kind of getting inconsistent results and not really understanding nootropics, getting benefits and then not, and then my stacks would fall off and I'd wonder why. We clear all that up in Ground Zero. Get that course, livecortex.com. If you're in a couple years but want to ascend to the 6-year mark very quickly, get the Nootropics Masterclass. That is a course that I created to really catapult people up to the 6+ year mark in using nootropics. Look, if you're a guy and your sexual function, EQ, libido, sex drive, zest for the opposite sex or whatever you're into just isn't there, I built a very, very powerful male sexual rejuvenation program that's highly effective, that gets what is missing out of every other sexual performance enhancing, male sexual performance enhancing program, and that is the focus on neurotransmitters. Get the male sexual rejuvenation program, livecortex.com, and then last thing, we've got consults if you're a business person and need to upgrade your brain in 1,001 ways with tailored nootropic stacks for you. Work with me. There's a couple options. One of them is a 3.5-month option. The other is a 6-month option. Get those neuroengineering, hands-on, results-driven one-on-one consults, livecortex.com. Okay, so let me just give you a quick preface, sort of a backstory. I moved to Pittsburgh back in October, and I really like it here. It's an entirely new city. It's an entirely new environment for me. I can't say I'm particularly into cities, or at least I wasn't prior, but I guess I just needed to find the right one, right? Because cities these days are kind of usually let me just say it like this, not the vibe that I like to be in as an intellectual. And cities to me haven't historically been very attractive. I guess I just need to find the right city, because these days, I don't know what it is with cities, but just people aren't like me there. Let's just couch it there. But here in Pittsburgh, there's a lot more people that are like me. There are a lot more business people. There are a lot more intellectuals. There's some socialite-esque kind of lounges and clubs and bars, and I really don't like the socialite scene, but there are some smart people that you can find in there and have good conversations with. So I've been making it an honest attempt over the course of the last 3 months to just go make friends, because I literally knew no one here when I got here. So I'd go out to all the fancy bars and upscale restaurants in the middle of the day, 3 p.m., just to try to meet people, get as many phone numbers as I can. I even used Tinder to meet friends, right? And just kind of get out there and get a feel for what was going on here. And I really liked the city. But one of the things that really, really helped me is using nootropic stacks when I would get into conversations, and even initiating conversations with people that would last 15 to 20 to 30 minutes, that would actually be substantive. And then I could maybe make a friend from, get a phone number, and then have someone to hang out with. So remember, I'm going to give you 4 stacks and rank them in order of efficacy. But what you really need to know is that in this regard, you're going to need focus, working memory, mental energy, and relaxation. That's really the core of what you need to make a conversational nootropic stack. So think of that if you're building stacks for what you need to do if you're going to be in some social situation or a situation similar. So here are my stacks. Okay, number 1 was 100 milligrams of uridine, 50 milligrams of CDP choline, 50 milligrams of phenylpiracetam, and then 100 milligrams of theanine. And this is actually number 1. So this was the best stack conversationally for me. And look, uridine and CDP as a combo, that's the basis of the Cortex stack. induces verbal fluency for most folks. That's one of the reasons why. But I had brought up the stimulation with phenylpiracetam added to it, and then I added that extra bit of L-theanine for relaxation. Again, the necessary critical components for conversational fluency and being effective in conversations. So that was both stack number 1 and my favorite stack of them all that led to the most success in me being able to be conversationally adept and fluent in social situations. Number 2 was a simple stack. I just tried to kind of keep it basic with this concept of stimulation and then relaxation. I took 150 milligrams of dynamine and then 40 milligrams of fasiracetam. Now, this ended up being number 3 in terms of efficacy. It was effective, but it wasn't great. You know, I was stimulated because dynamine really tends to make me like talk really quickly, and my brain just feels very energized, and maybe I don't let people get a word in edgewise, etc. So the fasiracetam in the mix did calm me down to a degree, but it was a little imbalanced. If I were to try it again, I'd probably lower the dynamine or add some theanine or something like that. But it was still effective for what I need to do, and it was number 3 in terms of rank, but number 2 on this list. The next stack, this is number 3 stacks that I took. 500 milligrams aniracetam, 5 milligrams Noopept. So now we're talking about getting smart in conversations. A gram of rhodiola, and then that day I ate a bunch of eggs for breakfast. I ate my typical egg breakfast, which usually supplies the choline that I need, so long as I'm not going really, really high on racetams and cholinergics that force choline release. So this stack actually ranked number 4, meaning the worst, but it was still good. It was good in that this is the stack that I would take where I really wanted to be deeply intellectual. Like, I had a conversation with a dude about politics, and we just talked about our position on politics, which ended up being pretty aligned, which made me really happy. And, you know, look, in that particular case, I mean, you're referencing a lot of information, you're using your working memory, you're having to hold a lot of pieces of information in your head at once to sort of stay on track in the conversation. And the racetam Noopept combination helped a lot for that. And then just having that 1 gram of rhodiola just kind of eased things out, because, you know, Noopept and aniracetam can definitely be stimulating. They are to me. They make me want to do stuff, especially aniracetam. So the rhodiola kind of just balanced it out. It was great. Like, it was effective for what I needed to do, but again, it ranks 4 in this list compared to the other stacks. Last stack was 50 milligrams bromantane, 1 capsule of now mucuna, 1 spray of insulfated NALT, 300 milligrams magnesium. So I just wanted to try this on the relaxation front, and then 1 spray insulfated C-Lank. Insulfated C-Lank, I'm not sure if folks know this, but it actually positively modulates the benzodiazepine sites at the GABA-A receptor. So it's an allosteric modulator of those sites, which is actually pretty cool. So you get a relaxation effect from just C-Lank alone. That might be something important for folks to take away that are looking for something to use to kind of chill their brain out during the day. But this stack, so I had bromantane in there, so that was like stimulating me, right, and making me like just energized and want to communicate with folks. I had mucuna in there, just adding a little more dopamine to the mix, usable dopamine to the mix. I'd be synthesizing more with bromantane. Insulfated NALT, so yeah, making more dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, and straight shot through the nose is definitely enough to stimulate you. I mean, I really only require a spray of that stuff if I'm using it. By itself, maybe 2 sprays, but stacked with other things, 1 spray is good on NALT. And then C-Lank. Now, this was my number 2. It's like nothing beats the uridine CDP phenylpiracetam theanine combo, but this was very close to it. I felt really relaxed. My working memory, surprisingly, was really functional. There's nothing in there that's really working on choline all that much. My energy was good, and I felt totally relaxed and in flow. And I was able to engage in, you know, somewhat large-scale conversations that had some depth in them when I did this endeavor. I'm actually still running this because, I mean, that's where I'm at in my life, focusing on business, but making new friends here in Pittsburgh and just trying to meet new people. You know, I got a gun range buddy, so I need to find another gun range buddy, you know, and maybe get a couple guys together and go to the gun range. So I'm really looking forward to that. But what does this illustrate? It illustrates that, like, I mean, look, I was hired a year ago to help a dating coach in Italy go and practice his craft, right? Like he teaches guys how to go and pick women up, right? But he goes and practices his craft all the time. And so I had to formulate stacks that were tailored for that. And they were like phenylpiracetam, phenibut stacks, and all kinds of really interesting stacks that ended up being highly effective. And so, you know, you can, you know, I in forums, I like to, people are always like, well, which nootropic for this? But in an excessive way. Like, which nootropic should I take for petting my cat? Like, dude, don't think about nootropics that way. You don't need to formulate nootropics for every task, and there isn't necessarily stuff that you can formulate for every task. You probably can, but you probably shouldn't. But for conversational fluency, I mean, that's one of the major things that we talk about and that we use nootropics for. Some of the people that hire Cortex Labs to do consulting are speakers on the national speaker circuit. Someone just hired us very recently, and then a couple months back we had a national speaker circuit person. And look, they go give hour speeches about stuff, whether they're, you know, talking about their book or a certain topic or whatever, and they need to be conversationally fluent and verbally fluent. So yeah, I mean, those are the type of stacks and those are the type of compounds that you would want to use. Those four work extremely well for me. But remember, you want focus, working memory, mental energy, and you absolutely need relaxation. You need that background chillness, you know, to be extremely conversationally fluent. Hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. Hope that's been entertaining. Thank you so much for being with me, everybody. Go support us live, cortex.com, Cortex Stack, mental energy, verbal fluency, motivation, drive to work, singular or auto ship. We've got a lot of people on auto ship, and so far very few have canceled. That means people love the Cortex Stack. Do that, livecortex.com. If you're new to nootropics, skip everything and just go with ground zero. It's a video course I created for people that are new. A couple years in, but want to ascend to the 6-year mark, Nootropics Masterclass. If you're a guy that needs to rejuvenate EQ, libido, sex drive, your zest for sexual function and interaction, like something went wrong along the way and you need to fix that, I put together the most comprehensive program that focuses on the missing element in all other hormone optimization, you know, sexual performance enhancing programs for guys, which is the neurochemistry of it. It's called Male Sexual Rejuvenation Program. Get that at livecortex.com. And then lastly, if you'd like to work with me on a one-on-one capacity on formulating tailored stacks for you, addressing your brain performance deficiencies, fully optimizing your baseline, and then on top of that, layering the stuff that we figure out works on it so that you can just function really well at critical times in your life. Work with me on a 3.5 month or a 6-month basis. These are one-on-one, hands-on, results-driven consults where we get down to the business, man. You get to see how professional I actually am and how effective I am at formulating stacks for what people need to do, as well as repairing brain chemistry. Do all that stuff at livecortex.com. Thank you so much for being with me, everybody. Talk to you next time.